From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 and a lot of breaking news live from Santa Monica this morning. And the breaking news is that the recon will pass in the Senate by Christmas. So says Leader Schumer. Will he get it done? I have the latest details in a jaw-dropping breaking news report today. The Senate changes, are they going in there? I have the latest details about what's going on with those Senate changes. And the recon so far is going to pay you the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of the channel. Upwards of at least $15,000, maybe as high as $50,000. Those incredible checks in this incredible recon, I'm going to show you right today. Then, no time to wait to get your bills paid, because I'm going to show you how to get bills paid right now. It's with third stimulus, and why viewers have been able to do so wonderfully with this in the last 7 days. More congratulations going out to new viewers today that have gotten on average about $5,000. This will be your day if you haven't gotten it as well. We're going to go over all those incredible details. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest offer on that. Then we turn to fifth stimulus, the latest details on that, and your COLA raise. Meantime, the breaking news about what's going on with Omicron now perceived potentially as less serious than initially thought. Why Wall Street is setting ready for a ticking time bomb, potentially on December 15th. What is going on between now and December 15th with the financial markets? It's breaking news today. And then my big commentary about this huge vote with Chuck Schumer and signaling that the legislation writing could be done as early as less than 7 days from now. Oh boy, it's a big recording. I have those details and more, plus the latest on site, the latest new show coming to this channel in the altered universe. Maybe it's a universe where there's some more bacon. Those incredible details. As the toast is toast and the butter is butter and the coffee is brewing, and as we start a big morning live on air, direct from Santa Monica. I'm excited you're here as Mornings LA kicks up its feet. Are you ready? I know I'm ready. As the big Mornings LA gets underway, starting right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're having a beautiful day. It is freezing, very cold here in Southern California. Jump on the live chat and tell me how you're doing right now and where you're watching, how the weather is. Well, here we go. The recon will pass in the Senate by Christmas, so says Leader Schumer, and new guidelines and new timelines released today. I have the latest breaking details about when we're going to see some legislation, when we're going to see some voting. It's huge. It's breaking right today at Mornings. Then the incredible provisions and those Senate changes. That's coming up in my commentary late in the video. You need to stay to the very end until you see my commentary. But the recon will be the single biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. You're going to get at least $15,000, upwards of $50,000 from these incredible programs in this recon. We'll be turning back to get your bills paid today, and I'm so excited of the countless viewers who have done this. It's in the last 7 days. Viewers have gotten on average $5,000. It's from what? Third stimulus. And viewers got $45,000 from it earlier this year. They're getting another round today. Get your pen and paper ready. We're going to go over the big sums of money. We're going to go over that student loan debt forgiveness. We'll be going over fifth stimulus. We'll go over the latest details of what's going on with the confusion about Omicron. This is become very, very confusing across the board. I'll have all the latest details on what's going on with Omicron, which impacts you, and the breaking details of what's going on with the financial markets going into December 15th. Those details plus a new show coming to this channel. I'm excited for all those incredible details that are coming up in this video. But first, subscribe. Go under this video right today and hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member and get an incredible newsletter which comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also sign up for those LA alerts, which is totally free under this video. Let's go right into the incredible great news as we're starting a big new day. And that news we're going to start first is those checks. Lots of them. That'll pay you on average about $15,000 across this fourth stimulus recon. This is the biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. And yeah, there's a lot of checks in there. So get ready. We're going to go over Cluster number one. These are some checks that are in that recon you're going to get. Hazard pay for my essential workers. The earned income tax credit continued for one more year. $4,000 of elder care. Got it in there for one more year. Money for caring for the young children. Got that in there. The Pell Grant, $550 check for my college students. They got in there the home repairs if you live in a low-income community. The $3,600 approximately of the CTC, the child tax credit, for one more year. And then finally, they got $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow, they got that in there as well. The first add-on comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters here in Southern California. What did she get in there? She got in there free money for the first time home purchases. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. She wanted $25,000. She got a little bit less. And yes, this is money for you if you want to go buy your first home. Len Glenn and a lot of viewers are loving this provision. I am it too. Stay with me. Later in this video, I'll explain to you how you get this money. Let's go to cluster number 2. We got in there paid leave and home repairs. What else is in cluster number 2? Well, they also got in there the pre-kindergarten, the household tax credit as well. But the home repairs in this cluster is weatherizing your home. Weatherizing your home. You need to be in the holiday spirit, which means putting up lots of lobster decorations. No, that's the McConnell residence. Not here. We're not putting up lobster decorations here. We're putting up bacon decorations. Let's go to the second add-on of checks. It comes from the incredible Bob Casey out of Pennsylvania. He wanted that's in there. He got it in there. And what is it? It's free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Wow. He wanted $250 billion. It came in a little bit less. How do you get this incredible sums of money? Stay with me. It's coming up later in this video. Let's go to the third cluster of checks. This is where we call it deliciousness. Money for seniors and free internet across the board. Here we go. Free school meals for all checks. Tax break checks. Cheaper prescription medication. Immigration reform. Then they got in there for farmers checks, the free internet, the money for my workers, and then the money for my seniors. The seniors money involves 2 provisions in there from the House and 3 provisions represented going in there on the Senate. And this is very important for my commentaries coming at the very end of this video, so stay with me. On the House side, they got 2 provisions in there, which are the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. The Senate has vowed to add 3 other provisions, lowering the Medicare eligibility age, the dental, and the vision. Very important for the last part of this recording, so stay to the very end. And with that, it's consistent with what the senators have said, which is they want to put in an MSC. Back in the month of May, we started advocating for the inclusion of an IRS multiple stimulus check. And at the time, thousands of viewers were told by the same 6 senators it's going in. As soon as the legislation landed in the Senate, I said to pick up the phone and advocate for its inclusion, because now the ball's in their court. Pick up the phone. And this is what's happened. In the last 6 days, you have done really well. 6 of 6 senators have said it's going in there, that MSC. It started with Janet. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, picking up the phone and calling it to Chuck Schumer's office and advocating for its inclusion and being told it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. It continued with Lynn Glenn last Wednesday and speaking to Chris Coons' office and being told it's going in there. It continued with Debbie, who picked up Bonnie, who picked up the phone and called it to Liz Warren's office and being told it's going in there. It continued with Donnie, who picked up the phone this last Monday to Ron Wyden's office, also having his wife Sharon call and being told it's going in there. And it continued with Tyrell last Friday and being told by Chris Coons' office it's going in there. That's why it's important to advocate across the board, because its inclusion is the point of advocacy. The number 1 guy in the recon, his chief of staff says, pick up the phone and call and advocate for its inclusion, because guess what? They want to hear from you. And that inclusion is very telling when you advocate. The message is very loud and clear. Pick up that phone and call. And let's see what that chief of staff said to viewers of this channel about the importance of advocacy. The message is that they have received, at that time, 3 million phone calls. It's a lot more since then. It's about 5 million. They now have in total, between congressional senators' offices, received more contacts of advocacy for the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures of the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding of what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories, and the voice of the people across the nation. You, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your continued advocacy as the professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes law. And that's why you need to advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. You're going to see in the second half of this video, and especially the final commentary at the very end of this video, why it's important to advocate right now. Again, Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. But also, I want you to advocate for your wallet. Pick up the phone and start getting that big money right available today for third stimulus. Viewers have done so well. And in the second half of this video, you're going to meet some of those incredible new viewers today who got on average $5,000 of their bills paid this week. Money is money. And if it's $5,000 in your wallet, it makes a big difference. And you're going to meet the new viewers who got that success story in the last 24 hours. I want you to be the latest. We're going to go back to that incredible recon, the breaking news from Chuck Schumer, as he now says the recon is going to pass by Christmas. OMG. The Senate changes. It's going to come up, and you're going to see it also my commentary at the very end. The programs, wow, the biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. Those programs will pay you a fortune, at least $15,000. You should be ecstatic. I'm going to show you how to get these checks. We'll be turning to that third stimulus. We'll be turning to that student loan debt forgiveness. The latest on that. And then your questions answered and asked about fifth stimulus and that COLA raise. Plus, we're going to take a look at a new show coming to this channel. You've been wondering about it and how it works. It's coming to this channel. It's about the metaverse. Those details and more coming up after the commercial break. But first, here is a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as Big Mornings LA kicks up his feet and goes into the second half. We're going to go over the incredible notion and statement by Chuck Schumer that recon is to pass in the Senate by Christmas. OMG, those Senate changes. The latest details on that, the incredible programs. They're going to pay you a fortune in this recon. You should be ecstatic. Biggest payout we've ever seen on this Shish channel. It's going to be a lot more than $15,000. It will be upwards of $50,000. We're going to go over how to get those big sums of money to pay your bills right today, how viewers have gotten $5,000 on average this last week, and how you can get those money as well. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that. Plus, this stimulus and COLA raise going up next year. Your questions answered on air. Plus, a new show coming to this channel. You're going to have the first insights of the big new show that everyone is talking about. It's me and a new platform, and you and a new way to make more money. Those details and more as the toast is toasted, the coffee is brewing, and the butter is buttering. I'm excited you're here, but make sure you subscribe. Go right in this video right now and hit that subscribe button. Be part of these incredible LA alerts. I want you part of this incredible family, but go down and hit that subscribe button. Sign up for membership right today so you get the incredible membership, so you get about all the information on the third stimulus. And consider becoming a LA alert member as well, which is totally free and under the video. And with that, we go into the big breaking news as we go into a big morning, and it starts right now. It is a very, very, very robust jam-packed news day, folks. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get it all in here starting right now. But let me tell you what's going on. Chuck Schumer issued a statement and a letter, and I have the letter for you right now. And here it is. The letter details that there will be potentially a vote on the recon in the Senate by Christmas. Now, let me go over what this letter talks about. The letter talks about the passage of the fourth stimulus recon. Remember, it was passed in the House a few weeks ago. It is now in the Senate. And in the Senate, it has sat for the last 2 weeks. Well, Chuck Schumer in his letter says, I want to get this done by Christmas, and I want it to be law by Christmas. Let me make that very clear. He wants it to be law by Christmas. Remember, if it's done in the Senate and there's a change or two, it has to go back to the House. So what does he detail in the letter? He says in the letter, I want my committees in the Senate to have their final version of the bill's language out of those committees this week or next week at the latest, so that the Senate parliamentarian can do her bird bath by no later than the end of next week. Now, I know that's a lot in one sentence, so let me break it all down to you. First, the legislation out of the House is now in the Senate subcommittees, and those Senate subcommittees are making changes. He wants those Senate subcommittees to be done with their changes so that the Senate parliamentarian can look over and determine what she's going to do under the Byrd rules. The Senate parliamentarian is a nonpartisan individual who looks at the legislation, says belongs in there, doesn't belong in there, take it out, leave it in there. Now, this is not a one-day job with her. She's been doing this with Chuck since July. It's been a daily discussion. They've been doing this every single day since July. The only difference is they're now at the finish line. They're ready to say, okay, here's the final draft. You've been looking at earlier drafts. Here's the final draft. He wants that done. He wants that. He says she's currently doing it right now, but he says, I want those final edits out of those committees done this week and next week. So if you look at the calendar, that means that the voting would be the week of Christmas in the Senate. That's the week of the 22nd, the 23rd, 24th. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, first of all, you have to have the Senate floor voting. That's at least a day. Then you need 2 days for the voter roll under the rules. That's 48 hours. Then if you go back to the House, because you have anything new, one item new on the Senate side, you have to go back to the House. That's at least a day for that as well. So it's a little bit tight. Now, let me go over the reaction to the news, which is very telling. And let me tell you what they're saying. First, we have a series of quotes where Democratic senators are saying, you need to just call the vote because we don't know where certain people are standing. Are people going to vote against the recon and kill it or vote in favor? They're talking about fellow Democrats. They're not talking about Republicans. Remember, a recon only needs Democrats. So we have Nazi Hirono today saying, we just need to put out the vote and see where people stand. And then we have Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin. He says, my experience in this business is you have to bring the vote and finally see where you are. All the speculation notwithstanding, people need to face the reality, yes or no. So what does that mean? They're saying, is the recon going to die or is it going to live? Are we going to have enough votes or is it going to go down flames and it's never going to pass? They say we just need to call the vote finally. So let's go over a little bit more about those quotes. Here's Chuck Schumer. It says, my goal is to have the Senate pass the legislation before Christmas and get it to the president's desk, which means have it a law before Christmas. Joe Manchin, when asked about the situation, says, I've heard about timelines before. Then we have John Tester, who says, what's going to happen if it goes down? We just walk away and we say, we tried. The recon is now dead. I don't know how that works. Then we have Tim Kaine, who says there's nothing magic about this. There is a January 15th-ish deadline at issue. And Senator Tina Smith says, we need to hear how people are voting. And finally, we have Debbie Stabenow, who says, we have a very strong push to get this before Christmas. So let me explain to you where we are. There are really three groups in there. The first group is the people who are saying, call the vote to see where people are. We don't know if this recon is going to pass and become a law or fail and never see light of day. And they say you can't just keep on twiddling your thumbs forever. So you need to call the vote. I agree 100% with them, and I think you would as well. If you've watched this channel over the last 2 days, I detail a lot about how the debt ceiling limit initially was going to have a amendment to extend it from the Republicans that Joe Manchin said he was going to vote in favor of. When the vote happened, he voted against the Republican amendment. So I've been teaching for over a year that Joe Manchin always says he's going to vote against something, and when the vote happens, he votes in favor of it. So I think that's what they're saying here, is just call the vote. We don't know where people are standing. Then let's go to the second group. The second group is a little bit nervous, which says, we don't know if this thing is going to pass. If it fails, then we got nothing. We've done a recon drafting, and it went down in flames. It failed. Now, we have the third group, which is the third group that want to make changes. And that third group that want to make changes, the people that want to take things out and people who want to put things in. On the one side is the Joe Manchin, who wants to take out paid leave. And then on the other side is Ron Wyden, Bernie Sanders, all those senators I've been detailing on this channel for the last 2 weeks who said it's the best bill since the 1960s, but there's major gaps in there. You just heard me say before the commercial break, the 3 provisions the senators want to add in there for Medicare, for example. Are they in there? How are they going to add them in there? So we have a timeline issue. How does this all come together? It comes together in my commentary at the final 5 minutes of this video. I'll explain to you my insight of what I think is going on, and I'll explain it to you in the final 5 minutes. So let's stay with that. Now let's turn to those incredible provisions of recon. You have to understand that this recon is great. It's the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel that has at least $15,000 of checks in there and upwards of $40,000 to $50,000. You're going to get a lot of money for this incredible recon. We're starting with incredible provisions starting right now. Paid leave got in there, and it's a lot, $1,700 a week approximately if you make $70,000 or more per year. If you make $35,000 or more per year, it's $800 a week. If you make $15,000 or more per year, it's about $400 a week. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Yeah, so that's a lot of money. $6,000 on the high end. What if you don't work? Well, if you live with your son or daughter and they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor, they get paid for this. This is huge. The next incredible provision of this recon is the big money for the SALT cap. They're going to raise it from $10,000 to $72,500 of what you can deduct in state and local taxes on the federal tax return. They got $40 billion of free job training, which is huge, which give you the opportunity to get a new training to take a higher paying job. And then they got in there the cheaper medical insurance. I get private messages about this daily, and they got it in there. There are 12 Republican states where the governors refuse to pay for Obamacare, so the Democrats got a workaround plan in there. They'll provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those states, which brings us to the biggest provision, the biggest payday in this recon for you, the housing. The housing, which is $150 billion. It has 3 new provisions: the weatherize your home, the home repairs, and the first-time home purchase, which I'll get to in a second. But it repeats 3 provisions from third stimulus, which are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance, which have paid viewers on average $45,000 for this channel. And guess what? You don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become law. You can get it right today from third stimulus. So I'm going to show you how to get these incredible sums of money starting right now. First, let's take a step back. In December of last year, about this time, I had an exclusive debut preview of what was going to be in a new body of law called third stimulus. I looked at it. I said, yeah, there's a $1,400 stimulus check in there, but I can get you about $15,000. $15,000, $1,400. Yeah, the $15,000 is just an extra zero. It's a lot more money. As soon as it became law, I looked at it again. I said, I can get you about $15,000. Well, the average view of this channel in spring of 2021 this year from third stimulus, as viewers of this channel, got $45,000 from third stimulus. That's how you rock and roll on this channel. It's the true embodiment of how viewers of this channel take the information and learn and apply it so well. But 2 weeks ago, I saw a real issue. People need help getting their bills paid. You got bills. You got bills right today to pay. And fourth stimulus is not law. So I said, you know what? Under third stimulus, you can get another round. And if you never got third stimulus or you're a new viewer of this channel, welcome. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid right today with third stimulus, which is already law from earlier this year. So we're going to go over that right now. We get some rent, utilities, mortgages, and food and more. And we're going to start with some incredible success stories. New success stories came in overnight. I'm so excited for these new viewers. If you have success stories, of course, send them to me on private message. Amber sent me, she's a longtime volunteer. She sent me an update from Tonya Faltry, who got nearly like 4 different items. There's a lot of different checks in there. I have to run my calculator on this one. It looks like it's $5,000 to $10,000. I can't even add it all up. It's almost 2 paragraphs of money. Lisa Holtz, she says she got $1,300 of back rent. Then she got another 3 more months. Congratulations to Lisa. Then yesterday, we had the incredible Deborah. She got 6 more months of rent, which was $4,000. She says, thank you, LA. We had Thorne Diaz, who was in the Holidays LA show, said he got 4 more months of rent. Congratulations. Chef Meyer, John Meyer, you remember him, longtime viewer. He got another $2,500 of SNAP and is working on utilities. He says, you're awesome. That's a true embodiment of what we're doing. Most of the people are getting 4 to 6 months of rent this week. So that's on, and most viewers are getting about $5,000 to $6,000. Some are getting upwards of $10,000. The same day we had Lynn Glenn. She said she got 4 more months of rent. You know Lynn. She says, I'll never stop watching you. Love you to death. Love you back, Lynn. Then we had the incredible same day. We had Robin get 3 rounds of utilities, then another 3 rounds from another utilities in the same week. How do you do that? It's coming up later in this video. We had D. Miller, who got rental assistance for $2,800, 4 more months of rent. There you go. We had Madonna early in the week. She got 1 round, then a 2nd round, and then a 3rd round of rent. Kathy Cheney says, thank you, LA. You're a godsend. I love you back, Kathy. She got about $6,000 this week from 3 items. Congratulations to Kathy. Morel, oh my God, you love Morel's story. Got 1 round, a 2nd round, and a 3rd round. May Lou says, you're the best. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you back, May Lou. She got 3 more months of rent, which is about $5,000. And she got utilities and food and other item, brought her about to $5,000. Jay Grant says, I speak for all of us. We love you to death, LA. Love you back, Jay Grant. He got about $5,000. Scarpy got SNAP. Melissa Justice this week got $10,000 from rent and other items. And I love Chris's story. Chris's story is incredible. He had gotten $10,000 from this earlier this year. And then he said, I didn't know I could get another round until you mentioned it. So he went back and he got $5,000 this week for rent and also utilities. Love you back, Chris. So let's go over how you can get this big money right now. Get that newsletter out in front of you and follow along if you're a member. If you're not a member, take notes starting right now. We're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgages, and food. We're going to get your bills paid right now. It's law. It's everywhere in every state. You qualify for the money. And we'll start first with the rent. It was $20,000 to $30,000 about 3 months ago. It is now $40,000. There are 2 viewers who gave us incredible news updates this last week. And I want you to send me private messages if you're watching. The first viewer said he got $38,000 last week for rent. Oh my goodness. Send me a private message. And then the other viewer in the live chat said this last week he got $138,000 from this channel from Third Stimulus. That is the single biggest payout I've ever seen in the history of this channel for one family. Let's turn to the rent. Here you go. This was graphic 3 months ago, $20,000 to $30,000. And the big money is now upwards of $40,000. Oh my goodness. So where do you get this rent? Follow along with the newsletter. Take notes. From 6 places: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. There are 3 musts. Number 1, you must reach out to all 6 places. Number 2, you must get application on the file as many places as you can. You must also get multiple rounds. You got 1 round early this year, get another round today. If you got 1 round yesterday, get another round with another organization. That's all featured in the newsletter, which got revamped last night. Comes out nightly. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Let's turn to utilities. Wow. You want to reach out to all utility companies and say utility assistance because of COVID. You can do this. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. Then third stimulus. If you got a check for third stimulus, you should not be paying for your food. You should be on SNAP. And boy, does it pay a lot of money. SNAP is money for food. You get it from Department of Agriculture. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Yes, because of this channel, he's getting $250,000 in the next 10 years. You get that money from SNAP right today. It went up 25% a lifetime. Next, you want to do combos. Combos are 3 items or more. It started with Nisa, you see her there, and Art Sullivan in May. They got 3 items. And so I kept on saying to viewers, get 3 items like Art and Nisi. Mark was at 2 items at $32,000. I said, Mark, where's your 3rd item? He got it, brought him to $150,000. He kept on pushing. Now he's over $100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105. Now she's at 120. Which brings us to the incredible story. As if those stories were not big enough, here's another big story, and it comes from Johnny. You want to be a Johnny as well. Johnny has a three-part story. Part one was a few weeks ago. Johnny started watching this channel on Monday with two other viewers he didn't know. By the middle of the week, they each got three programs approved, $45,000. Great. But Johnny heard my recordings. It said, do not stop. So he didn't stop at 3 programs. He continued to push. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs approved. Now, to get 7 programs approved, he had to have made 15 phone calls. That's what you want to do. Why do I know that? Because you're going to have about a 20 to 50% no ratio. You're going to have people say no when you call, about 20 to 50% of the time. So he had to have about 7 no's to get 7 yeses. So that means he made 15 phone calls in 1 week. And how much did he get in 5 days? $80,000. Part 2 of the story started the following Monday. Part 2 of the story started when he reached out to 2 family members and said, hey, I got $8,000 last week. They said, from what? LALATE. Oh, I've heard about him on YouTube. Yeah. So where did you get the money from? He said, Third Stimulus. Third Stimulus, John. I haven't heard about this anywhere else. Why haven't I heard about it? He said, they don't cover it. He covers it. Let me show you. By the end of the week, those 2 family members went from non-believers to believers. They each got $50,000. What's going on here? The landscape right now is LA is the number 3 financial news channel in America. But the number 1 channel in America covers SPACs. I don't cover SPACs. What's a SPAC? The fact that I don't cover it doesn't mean SPAC doesn't exist. No, it means I just cover SPACs. It just doesn't mean it doesn't exist. If they don't cover what I don't cover, what I cover doesn't mean what I cover doesn't exist. It means they just don't cover it. Let's go to part 3 of Johnny's incredible story, which came in 2 Sundays ago. And wow, it's huge. I was watching Sunday Night Football, and I got a private message on Instagram from Johnny. He said, hey, I have an update. Oh, what happened, Johnny? People kept on coming over the house, asking me, what am I doing? And then they heard about it. It snowballed. They asked me to help them. We kept on watching your videos, and I told them about you, and we watched LALATE all the time. And I ended up helping 32 people. I said, Johnny, 32 people, how much money did you get them? And Johnny revealed he got them $850,000 in total. Incredible. You can be one of those people. So consider becoming a member today. Go right on the video right now and sign up for that membership right today and get that membership newsletter right today. It features the 6 places you reach out to. It features the keywords you say, the 3 musts. It also features the 5 nonprofits that help with small appliances, small repairs. It also features the new home repairs that one organization is helping with as well. It also features the money from Treasury you want to know about before making the phone call for rent. This is why viewers that are members are doing such incredible, great jobs across the board. Average viewer of this channel in the last 7 days, $5,000. You saw those 20 examples right there, and some getting upwards of $20,000, $10,000 as well. You could do as well. Let's go right back into 4 stimulus where we left off at the housing provision. The 3 new provisions in housing are incredible in 4 stimulus. And what are they? They are the home repairs. If you live in a low-income community, this will be a grant. Number 2, under 4 stimulus, the second new provision is weatherize your home for all types of homes. And then finally, first-time home purchases, like Lynn Glenn allows this provision. A lot of people do as well. This will be money potentially given to the seller during time of escrow. We're going to see details of this when it becomes a law. Let's go back in that week and look at more of those incredible provisions. They got $150 billion of free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Wow, it's incredible. They got the $550 check Pell Grant for my college students. It's automatic. And then they got the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. It's incredible. Now, there's 2 parts to that. First, it must be an electric car made by a U.S. auto manufacturer, unionized labor. The second provision is that it has to be in U.S. soils. I don't think that works. I think they have to modify that language. I went over that extensively yesterday. Let's go to the next provision, which is $65 per child when they're not in school per month. It's incredible. Which brings us to the best provision of this recon, which is the big, cheaper money for medication. They're going to have 20 medications cheaper on day 1. This is Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D, cancer, arthritis, diabetes, the most expensive medications there are out there. For example, $1,000 a dose going down to $35 a dose for insulin. It'll grow to 30 medications by the year 2028, and then it cannot increase more than the rate of inflation per year, or there's a penalty provision in there. Penalty provision? You can't do a penalty provision. So says Pat Toomey, the Republican senator. And I agree. That's among the provisions that Senate parliamentarian, who I'm featuring later in this video as well in that final comments, says he believes she's going to take it out. She's also going to look at immigration reform. She may take that out. That's also mentioned in Chuck Schumer's new letter today. She previously ruled immigration reform cannot go by recon. And she may remove the paid leave, which is also a Joe Manchin provision that he says he wants out. That's why it's important to advocate. When you're looking at this incredible recon, the Senate changes are robust. I'm going to feature the Senate changes today in my commentary at the end, so you see it all together, so you see what's important. But so far, you see this recon is far more than $15,000. It features all the big checks from third stimulus, the page of $40,000 on top of this. And then you have the potential changes. So yeah, this is a big payday. Big, great payday. About $50,000, $60,000 of checks on the high end, and on the low end, about $15,000. Best payday you've seen across the board. But you need to advocate, because the senators who have said in the last few days that there's major gaps that they need to fill need to be advocated too, and those are the same guys that said they would do an MSC. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Make sure you advocate to them. Let's go back into those incredible provisions in that recon that are in there, and let's talk about those timelines. You saw Tim Kaine early in this video saying January 15th. Let me explain for the first time ever what's going on. January 15th is now the hard, fast deadline for certain provisions in third stimulus to expire. But to have them not expire, says Tim Kaine in another quote, which I sort of skipped over, he says you have to get them done far ahead of before January 15th. And let's see some of those provisions. These are provisions expiring on January 15th. The child tax credit, $3,600 front end. The child care, back end. The earned income tax credit for my hazard pay workers, back end. The new provisions in there are universal pre-K for 3 to 4 year olds, 1 year checks, the home health care covered benefits. They got in the hearing aid. That's huge. That is a check. Then they got in there the Pell Grant, the housing, and we went over the nutrition as well. So what are those incredible provisions that the senators would add in there? I'm going to go over that in my final commentary, a new part of this video. You're going to see that because it's very, very important. Let's jump now forward into that executive order of student loan debt. Student loan debt offer on the table would go by executive order, would not have to go by recon. And that offer is $10,000. So the Democrats should take it. The president previously forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled, for people who went to work in the nonprofit sector, people who went to work in the public sector. Democrats should take the latest $10,000 offer. This stimulus, wow. And that COLA raise, you've been asking some great questions. And let me slow this down here because I've seen a lot of questions. First, COLA. Your benefits are going up 5.9% January 1 based upon the new COLA raise. It's automatic. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to have the letter for it to happen. It's 5.9% for everyone. If you haven't received that letter, you're not going to receive the letter. The letter was just a by the way letter. Don't worry if you didn't receive the letter. And thank you to all the wonderful viewers who are in the live chat daily, who know the answers to questions and help answer the questions when someone else is asking in the live chat. You've been doing a great job. Then, my veterans. Some veterans are seeing the COLA raise happen this month of December, a month earlier, so great to them. Now let's turn to FIST stimulus. FIST stimulus sees COLA as a problem, which it is, and wants to replace it with inflation starting December 2022. That means that would be the new benchmark, 2 to 3% every year going forward. But first, they want to raise your benefits up to get you caught up. This is you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits. Remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty, and love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest. Let's turn for just a blink of an eye to Omicron, because this is very, very important and what's going on with the financial markets. This is very, very confusing and very strange. The White House, right after Thanksgiving, announced travel restrictions for Omicron, saying it needs more data to come on in. So far, that data has not come on in. We have very little data about Omicron, but already Dr. Fauci is saying the initial data is promising. That's fine, but it's very little data. It's very strange. Very little data, not enough data. Why are we reacting when it's very little data? The very little data at the moment, which is very little, again, it's very little, says that Omicron is not as severe as Delta and does not spread as fast as Delta. Good, but it's still very little data. So I don't know why people are reacting to the news, including the White House. Also very confusing is what the world is going on with the silliness on Wall Street and the financial markets. Let's recap. Wall Street took a tumble right after the Omicron news about Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving. Last Friday, Wall Street didn't crash because of Omicron. It crashed because the financial data from the jobs report was too strong. So what happened on Monday? Wall Street went up because they heard Fauci saying perhaps that Omicron was not that serious. And today Wall Street is up as well. That is a bubble ready to burst. I got to tell you why. The issue at hand is the reason why Wall Street crashed last Friday is not Omicron. It is because there's a ticking time bomb, which is December 15th. And the issue at hand is that on December 15th, the Federal Reserve is going to meet and announce its latest Fed policies. You have only two economic datas between now and New Year's Eve. This Friday, which is the CPI, and the Federal Reserve on December 15th. Folks, I got to tell you, this December 15th date is very critical for you. Why? Many now believe that the Federal Reserve will institute Federal Reserve policies that are far more aggressive than we would have ever thought 2 months ago because the economy is too robust. We believe there'll be a faster tapering, and we will believe there won't be one interest rate spike, but potentially two or more, and that the first interest rate spike may happen as early as March or May 2022. This is not anything that anyone saw, and if it happens, Wall Street will crash again. The Bitcoin and cryptocurrency went down 50% in one day on Saturday. It's a very, very shocking turn of events. Why did it happen? Because the financial data that came in on Friday was too strong, stronger than anyone expected. Lower unemployment, faster, better job participation in the labor market, and lowering labor rates. I'm not going to detail in this video because I detailed yesterday, but watch yesterday's video for more about that. And with that, I want to go into my commentary about what's going on with Chuck Schumer and what it means for your wallet. And this is very, very important. Chuck Schumer's letter is a letter, and it gives us sort of a guideline. I first want to talk about the timeline. The timeline is very tight, and the timeline basically says do everything and in the president's desk by December 25th. Can we do it by December 25th? Let me show you. If they modify one word in the Senate, it has to go back to the House. The House is at least 1 day to vote. The Senate needs 1 day to vote. The Senate needs 2 days for vote-a-rama. Okay, well, that's already 4 days. If you start this on the Monday of Christmas week, not enough days, unless you vote on Christmas, which I don't see these people working on Christmas. So that means you would have to start the week before. Now, I'm not worried about the Senate parliamentarian. The Senate parliamentarian, she's been working with Chuck since July. So it's not like they're walking up to her door for the first time this week. No, she's already seen all this stuff before. What is very difficult as a news reporter is what I told you was starting to happen yesterday, which is good for you, but difficult as a news reporter, is that the Democratic senators have made an agreement amongst themselves. Stop trash talking each other in the press. And because of that, we're going to have less updates of what is in there. Notice there's literally no Bernie Sanders quotes in nearly 5 days. Bernie Sanders hasn't talked. Ron Wyden hasn't talked. Now, let's back up. 2 months ago, Ron Wyden, or 2 weeks ago, Ron Wyden and Bernie Sanders says it's the best bill since the 1960s, but has major missing gaps. Okay, well, have the gaps been filled? How about all those recordings I made in the last 2 weeks where Bernie Sanders says, I had 3 provisions on Medicare I need to add in there. First, I need to lower the Medicare eligibility age from 65 to 55. You heard that. And Bob Casey wants to do it 60. Is that in there? Then Bernie wants to do the dental. He wanted 10 years of full benefits. I said he can't. Then he wanted to do 3 years of full benefits. I said that works. Last time it was a $850 check. I don't think that works. Is that in there? Don't know. How about the vision? Bernie said, I need vision in there. You know, I examine a pair of frameworks. Is that in there? Don't know. Then there's all the Ron Wyden stuff. Ron Wyden has a lot of stuff he wants to add in there. Is Ron Wyden stuff in there? We don't know. And we won't know. Are MSCs in there? Stands for multiple IRS stimulus check? We don't know. Is 1 check in there? Is 2 checks? Is 3 checks? We don't know. We won't know until potentially the 11th hour. We won't know. And that is why it makes it a difficult story to report on for the next 2 weeks, because we don't know if it's in there. Now, what I am so proud of you this last 7 days, what I'm so proud of you since January, is you have taken the information and applied it. Let's be very frank. You have a hand here. And if someone puts $5,000 in your hand, you don't care what the $5,000 is for, so long as it's $5,000. Cash is cash. To the viewers this week that got $5,000, $6,000, guess what? That's more than almost the MSC. You have gotten more than an MSC just this week from third stimulus. And when we look at fourth stimulus, so far it's about $15,000 of checks for you, and on the high end is about $50,000 to $60,000 of checks. I'm so excited that so many viewers have understood how to get the big money from third stimulus. When third stimulus became law in January of this year, there were some people that only talked about a $1,400 stimulus check. I said that doesn't make sense. $1,400, $15,000 I can get you from third stimulus. Average viewer got $45,000 from third stimulus. $45,000 versus $1,400 is a big difference. When we look at fourth stimulus recon, we don't know if MSC is in there. But what I want to be with a tough love moment right now with you is that anyone who says something like, I only want one thing, you're not being truthful to yourself. That is a incorrect approach to the situation. I only want one thing. You want cash, and if you want cash, the recon gets you cash. Don't worry what it's called. Focus on that you can get it. Don't say, I only want one thing because it's called that one thing. Focus on the ability to get the cash. And I'm so excited for the viewers this week that showed it and proved it, and the week before, that showed, I want money to pay my bills. I have bills. I need bills to be paid right today. And LALATE is showing me how to get those bills paid. I got $5,000 a bill paid, $6,000 a bill paid. And I got $10,000 a bill paid just 2 months ago, or I got $45,000. That is how you apply the information. The next 2 weeks is going to be a nail biter. We have the Federal Reserve with this really big jaw-dropping meeting on December 15th that could change the dichotomy of everything, because interest rate spikes is a delicate subject for everyone. Number 2, we have this week and we have next week in which they're finalizing language out of these committees. Well, what do we see it? No, we don't see it. It goes to the parliamentarian. She takes something out. Okay, where does the money go then? Reallocate the money. Where are they going to reallocate the money for? Then how about the vote-a-rama? It's going to be a very, very busy news cycle between now and December 25th. We may not see those public statements that you may have seen in prior months or prior years where people come out and say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. They may keep it very, very under wraps. So it's very important for you to apply the information, get your bills paid right today from third stimulus, and get the big money under fourth stimulus as soon as it becomes law. Lots of it. Meantime, coming to this channel in just a few days, an exciting new show takes me into a universe you've never seen, and it's a program that broadcast media has never seen. You'll see me in my universe normally on set, and here also in the digital universe, which is called the Metaverse. We're going into the Metaverse in a shocking new series this holiday season, in which I show you how to make new friends and interact with people, learn about art and culture, but more importantly, how to make money. It's going to be a new platform to show you from beginner to advanced how to make money across the board. It's the Metaverse coming to this channel in the next few days. Meantime, how soon will Calcino be coming to this channel? You never know. How soon will Javita Late, Blaine 66, and Sirloin be back on this channel for the first time, for some of them, over a year? You never know. You might have to stay very in tune to this channel for the next 48 hours to see how soon they're back. But coming up next is Holidays LA at 11 a.m. It's a fun show, and it'll be live on air, and I'll have the latest details about your recon as well. Then we're back at 1 o'clock with Afternoons LA, a brand new 3 o'clock Afternoons LA, and a brand new 5 o'clock Evenings LA. So with that, I want you to make sure you subscribe. Go under this video right today and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Join me next as Holidays LA heats up in about less than an hour from now. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and stay with LA for more.